Good evening, everybody. Welcome in to Coach's Corner East. We are live at the Pizza Hut here in Galion, and glad to have you aboard for another edition of Coach's Corner East as we feature Galion, Colonel Crawford, and Crestline Sports. Show is brought to you in part tonight by Stephen Kurtzman and Associates at Innovative Recycling, 352 South Street, Galion. Candy Bolin at Bolin Realty, 2 blocks west of the Uptown Galion Square. John Cross at Cross Carpet and Custom Floors, 302 North Seltzer Street, downtown Crestline. On tonight's show, coming up a little later, it'll be the bowling team from the Crestline High School. They will be here tonight with their new coach. Joe Borders will be here with his team. We're going to honor the girls cross-country team from Colonel Crawford who just went down to state and placed 7th this past weekend. So we're going to talk to them about their state experience. And kicking it off, it's the Galion bowling team with Coach Bob Lear and Brad Fairchild and some of their bowlers. We'll talk to them here in just a moment. Show is brought to you in part by Terry Gribble and Associates at your Galion Community Center YMCA, Dr. Erica Schieber at Bucyrus Veterinary Service, 222 West Mary Street in Bucyrus, Rod Steiger and Associates at Pizza Hut here in Galion and Bucyrus, host of our show since 1992, as well as Luann Krebs at River's Edge Embroidery, screen printing and signs, sponsor of our phone board t-shirts. And it is my pleasure to welcome back to the microphone the bowling team from Galion High School. And we're starting out with the boys coach, Brad Fairchild. Coach, thanks so much for coming out tonight.
I'm glad to be back.
It's time for another year, and we talked last year. I think it was last year you came to the studio, actually, when we were still doing that, and you were able to come up. But it's great being back in person again, and looks like this is just partial team. 8 young people around the table here tonight. But talk a little bit about, let's talk about last year first. 2 and 6 overall on the boys' side. Jason Guthridge, first team All MOAC, had a high score in the MOAC tourney, and he was 3rd in sectionals and bowled in the district tournament in a 203.63 average. And then Sean Clark, who's just down the table from me, returns. He was an MOAC candidate. And so talk about last year's team and kind of what happened there in a tough year because of so many cancellations.
Right. Last year was tough. 1, because of COVID. 2, we had a rebuild year. We lost everybody the year before to graduation. So this year, I'm looking forward. We made grave improvements at the end of last year. So hopefully big things this year.
How many bowlers will you have on the boys' side this year?
I will have, 7.
7, okay.
Yes.
So is that up from last year? Or?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep,
up
absolutely.
a little bit from 7, or from last year.
Yep.
So, and age-wise, how many seniors on this team?
I have 1 senior. Next year, the majority of my bowlers will be seniors. So I'm hoping to pull some younger kids up for next year. So we'll go through the rebuilding process again.
Do you have any freshmen on this year's boys' team?
Yes, we have a couple.
Okay, and are they new to the sport, or?
Fairly.
Okay, all right, so it's just kind of starting out and learning the ropes for sure.
Right.
Okay, so you've had some practices, the coaching began just this last Friday.
Yes.
So you've had some practices in. What have you seen out of this boys group that's maybe different than last year?
Their attitude. They're sponges. They want to learn. They take in everything you tell them to, and you couldn't ask for anything more.
Mm-hmm. Where you said the majority of your team next year would be seniors, that means they were around last year.
Yep.
Have you seen in them that experience of 1 year of varsity bowling that's helped them already before matches have even started this year?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like last year in sectionals and before, grave improvements. You could see they're picking up their spares. They're being more consistent with their first shots. And so hopefully this year, once again, we'll hopefully build on that and have a good season.
When you have practices, about how long do they go?
Usually between an hour and a half.
And what are you mainly teaching, both you and Bob here, teaching the young people at practice?
I stress spares. And we do some things during practice to work on that. Like a couple years ago, I challenge my bowlers. If they picked up their spares, I had to do 5 push-ups, and vice versa. So it kind of make it fun.
Sure.
And so I think we're going to end up doing that here in a couple weeks just to get ready for the tournament.
Does it depend on the individual, or as a mindset, do you tell them to be aggressive on their first roll and try to get as many pins, or do you ask them to be a little more conservative and pick up those spares?
Both. I mean, I guess that's the right answer. There's going to be times where you're going to bowl on tougher shots, where strikes are going to be few and far between, and you got to rely on your spares.
From the MOAC standpoint, who looks to be the top dogs in the MOAC Bowling League on the boys' side?
I would say Marion's going to be one of the top again. River Valley, they're going to be okay, and I think we're going to be right there with them.
Good, good. And season begins in the not too distant future, the 20th. So that's coming up. What's today? I don't remember. The 10th. So 10 days from now, a week from this weekend coming up. You have to be excited about this and get back out there.
I'm ready.
You're ready to get doing it. Now, the interesting thing is when Coach Lear came in as well, he said, boys need to go first tonight. And then I found out why. You're bowling tonight in Bucyrus, aren't you? League tonight?
I finally can bowl again, so I took 3 years off because of a couple surgeries on my slide foot, so I'm trying to get back into the swing.
How do you feel?
Pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good.
So this is a league that you're in tonight?
Yep.
Okay, and what are you expecting to score tonight?
Well, it's been a roller coaster so far this year.
Yep.
I'll have one good night and then come back and go, what just happened?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping just to shoot, we bowl 4 games, so I'm shoot 800, which would be 200 average. I would be very ecstatic.
Good. Good. Well, I'm glad you're back out there doing it and doing what you love. And, and you can take what you've learned and what you're doing for yourself and then disseminate it with everybody else on the team. Very good. We take a break here. We'll come back and talk to the girls coach in just a moment. Before we talk to the young people around the table, our show is brought to you in part by Don Barn Associates at Galion Building and Loan Bank, Matt Studer at Spitzer Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Kia 1 mile east of the Richland Mall, and Mark Osborne and Associates at E-Crane International, serving worldwide markets from the Galion Industrial Park. And now I'd like to welcome girls coach Bob Lear, and it's good to see you again, Coach Lear. Thanks for coming out tonight. I certainly appreciate it.
Yes, thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Little different year for your team last year than on the boys' side, and that's not to take away from them, but you were 6-2. You had the second highest score in the MOAC tournament with 3,116, and you were first in the sectionals and went to districts. What brought that on? Just had a good group?
Yeah, the girls know what they can do. I mean, it's all up to them. Their talent will take them as far as they want to go.
And Cadence Fairchild, who's here tonight, she was first team MOAC, so congratulations on that. High game of 209. Abby Crager, also here tonight, was second team, as well as Carla Diamond, who I guess has graduated, or is she still on the team?
There wasn't no Carla Diamond.
Well, may have been on another team. We'll scratch that. How about Zoe? I know is here tonight. So
Zoe
made it as well. And was there Malia Stratton? Was she on your team? Now she's gone, or
yeah, she graduated.
She's graduated. They were all second team MOAC, and Malia was had a high game of 212, and Zoe 2-game series of 363. So how many bowlers on your squad this year?
I'm gonna have 8.
8. Okay. And is that up, down, about the same as last year?
About the same as last year. I graduated a couple. I got a couple freshmen. I actually got 1 freshman out this year.
Okay. Experienced or just kind of rec stuff?
She's green.
Green, okay. Do you like that, having someone that you can kind of mold and teach the game to, or do you kind of like to surround yourself with veterans that it's maybe not as difficult?
A little bit of both.
Yeah, sure. I think as a coach, you want a little bit of that challenge for sure. From an MOAC standpoint, you had such a great year. Can you be right back up there at the top? Or who are your toughest competitors in the MOAC?
My premonition is we're going to be at the top.
Good, good. And every school in the MOAC have bowling at the girls' side that you're aware of?
Clear Fork don't, and Ontario don't.
Okay, they do not. Okay.
No.
So just most of the teams, but not all of them.
Right.
Okay, very good. And what have you seen out of your girls who were so successful last year early on in practice here in just a week, less than a week?
They're doing just where they finished up at.
Do you talk, both of you, do you talk to them over the summer, or even in the fall and say, you better start out, get rolling some balls, getting used to it, because you can't come to the first day of practice having not picked up a ball since last winter.
Yeah, there's some of them that's been bowling all summer.
Good.
Over at Lexington and Busaris when they was open, and when Galion was open, they'd go out there too.
Good, really good. And when you look at that season, back on, coming up on the 20th, Saturday the 20th, you're gonna be with Northmore and about 8 others at Victory Lanes, which is your home lanes, correct?
Right.
And then your non-league, boy, it's pretty aggressive. Buckeye Valley, Crestline's on there, who's gonna be with us later tonight, Elgin, Gilead Christian, Lexington, and Mansfield St. Pete. So really aggressive on top of your normal league schedule. And this season runs from basically late November through when?
March.
March.
Weekend. First and second weekend of March is state.
Okay, and where is state held?
Wayne Webb Lanes in Columbus.
Okay, so you're hoping to get down there.
Oh, there ain't no hope to it. I want to go down there.
Okay.
These girls know what they have to do.
Very good to hear. I really
I
appreciate
guess I'm
that.
trying to be positive.
That's
I know what we have as far as the girls wise.
good for you. That's a great outlook to have, and when you can implement that in their minds, they believe, and everything's very good then. Thanks a lot for coming out tonight. I appreciate it. We'll take a break here before we talk to the young people around the table. We're brought to you in part by Steve and Chuck Keller at Keller Auto Parts, your Napa dealer, Uptown, Galion, and Crestline. Marie Mounts at the Platinum Insurance Agency, your Progressive Agent, 131 Harding Way East, Uptown, Galion. And Joe Kleiman, Associates at the Galion office of First Federal Bank of Ohio. Abby Crager is up first. She's been dying to get her hands on the microphone. She wants to talk, and if you hold it up just a little closer there, we're in good shape. What year are you?
I am a 12th grade.
You're a senior now.
Senior, yep.
Okay, and you've been bowling a long time in your career?
4 years.
4 years,
This is my
okay.
4th year, yep.
Where have you gotten better?
Everywhere. I've improved every year.
Okay, so coach talks about, expectations and pretty high expectations. And it's one thing to hear coach talk, just like, when you're in the classroom and you hear your teacher say something, you're like, yeah. Have you guys, as a team, have you bought into it?
Yeah, I think we could definitely go to state this year. We have exceptional bowlers on the team.
And people that have been through it, young people that have been through it, and you can lead others, especially young that have less experience. Do you like that role of leading other people and saying, hey, this is what we have to do to be successful?
Yeah, I try to help everybody. If there's something I can see that they could work on getting better, I try to just give them a little piece of advice, and same goes for them. If they see something that I could improve on, I'll take that feedback. It's about just improving,
What is your strongest part of your game?
knowing how to move on the lane, on
Oh,
the approach.
yeah.
That's my strongest part.
Okay, very good. Well, good luck this year. Thanks for coming out. I certainly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Missi Vonhoupe, I got it right? Maybe didn't get it during golf, but I got it right this time, right? Hey, congratulations on a good golf season. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and now you're going inside and you're gonna roll that ball down the lane. So are you excited about this?
Yes,
Which one do you like better?
definitely bowling.
Why?
There's a lot more positive energy going into bowling. Like golf, you have to be quiet.
Yeah.
I don't like being quiet.
And probably a little more interaction with your team. And do you? And here's a great question: Do you interact with the other team much at all during a
Yeah.
bowl? Okay, you do talk to them and things like that. Is it pretty friendly or is it really competitive?
Depends on what team it is.
So can we mention names of who it might not be as friendly with, or do you not want to go there?
No.
Okay, we'll just leave it at that and kind of let things figure out as they will. When you look at the lanes, Victory Lanes is your home lanes, what are some other lanes that you really enjoy bowling at?
Blue Fusion is probably my favorite.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's just really fun to bowl at.
Oh, okay, all right. What's the biggest thing that you're looking forward to this year?
Just getting to spend my last season with the people on my team.
Yeah, that you care about and you spend a lot of time with.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, good luck to you. Thanks for coming on. I certainly appreciate it. Next up, Cadence Fairchild. And what's it like having dad as a coach, even though it's on the boys' side? And does he talk to you at home about, well, you didn't do this or you didn't do that? Or is it not that much and he just lets you do your thing?
Having my dad as a coach is kind of intimidating sometimes, but I definitely think it's a good thing because like he knows my skills and stuff outside and inside of just the high school league. So I definitely like it, I guess. Yeah.
Is there added pressure? You know, we talked about doing things off season, and when your season ended last March, and now we're rolling around to late November, and you know, there's some people that have been doing it all summer. Were you one of those people, or have you been gearing up to get ready here?
Well, I switch back and forth through tennis and bowling.
Okay.
So I try to bowl as much as I can while also trying to practice for tennis. But yeah, I got out during the summer and bowled some.
Before, you know, you watch a football game or a basketball game or, you know, tennis or soccer, you see these student athletes stretching and things like that. Do you guys do like some stretching and things of backs or legs or things before each match?
We kind of do our own thing with like stretching our arms and stuff because I don't want to pull a muscle.
Yeah, right.
But we sometimes do it as a group. It just depends. Tournaments are a big thing. We do go out and stretch as a group.
Okay, very good. Well, good luck this year. You're a senior?
No, I'm a junior.
Junior, okay, so you got another year, but have fun with these seniors and hopefully you can go the distance.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And finally, on the girls' side, we have Zoe Frary, and great to have you here.
Hi.
Thanks for coming. I pronounced it correctly, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And you had quite an honor last year with second team MOAC and that 2-game series of 363. What is your high, your personal high that you've got?
My personal high is a 247.
Okay, can you best that this year?
I'm gonna try. I've been trying to get more consistent and like knowing where I'm going.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you a senior or a junior?
No, I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore, okay, really young. So last year was your first year
Yeah.
competitively, but how long had you been playing before?
I've been bowling since like 7. Like my sister went into high school bowling, and ever since then I've been bowling.
What is it that you enjoy about it? Because it's a sport, I think, at the high school level that's really grown. I mean, there's a lot of, and it's gotten a lot more competitive. What have you really enjoyed?
I really enjoy, like Missy said, like being able to interact with the other team too. Like I had Winford like cheering us on during the big tournament. Like I had Winford team cheering us because they were like freaking out last time, and they're like, "Oh, what are we gonna do? We're not good enough." And I'm like, "No, we're gonna get through this as a team together." And they're like, "But we're competitors."
Yeah.
No.
That's fantastic. That's great. Well, enjoy it. Have a good time this year. And you got lofty goals. Coach got lofty goals, and make him feel very proud that when he laid it on the table here on November 10th, you guys answered the bell. So good luck to you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Going to talk to the young men now, and we're going to start out with Sean Clark. And Sean is a senior, and remember talking with you last year, and congratulations on your honorable mention. I'm sure you want more than that this year. Is it there for the reaching?
Yes, it is. I plan to try to get MOAC first.
Good for you. And what will your high or your average need to be, do you think, to get on that MOAC first team?
I'd say anywhere between a 180 to a 200 average.
Okay, and that's well within reach for you?
Yes.
Okay, where have you gotten stronger in bowling from last year to this year?
From last year, I'd say in my spare game.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing really well with that now.
Bowling reminds me a little bit, I think, of golf from the standpoint that it can be physical, but there's a lot of mental side to it as well. When you're approaching and getting ready to roll, what are you thinking about on the mental side that you have to get accomplished?
Mostly I try to just clear my mind, because when you start letting yourself get into doubt or just overthinking it, you see a lot more mistakes appearing. So when you get up there, you just try to clear your mind and stay focused on what the task is.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good. Well, good luck to you. Enjoy your senior season last go around, and I'm sure you want to make it special and make amends for last year a little bit and have a much better season.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. And next up, we have Ethan Click as a junior as well. Hi, Ethan. How are you?
Good, how about you?
Good. How many years bowling for you?
2.
Two.
Well, 1.
One total. Okay, so
Yeah.
just as a sophomore.
Yes.
What got you into the sport?
I just went bowling with my aunt one time, thought it was pretty fun.
Yeah, and so now you've started practice, you've been in practice for about a week. Where has your game progressed? Where has it gotten better for you?
I'd say my spares are definitely better than last year.
Do you have to be particularly strong to be a good bowler, or not necessarily so?
I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, I guess from a standpoint of physics, if you hit the right pin, the rest are going to fall, right? All right. How about for you, other than victory lanes, maybe a favorite lane or a couple different places that you enjoy going?
Maybe Lex lanes.
And that would be why?
I don't know.
Is that, do I understand correctly, if I remember, is that synthetic?
Yes.
Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
A lot of people like that because of that, right? Synthetic, do you notice a difference than natural or not?
No.
No, just all the same to you?
Yeah.
All right, well, have at it this year, have a good season, and,
We're not really bold enough on.
well, thanks for coming out, I appreciate it.
Yep.
Next up, we have Brady Dallenberg is here, and Junior. Thanks for coming, I appreciate you being here tonight and giving up your time.
Yeah, man, thank you.
You bet. And where's the excitement level for you to kind of wash away what happened last year, start fresh, and make a difference this year?
Soul my self-improvement by
Yeah.
far.
And what is that? Where has that come from?
Now that's come from mainly Brad because he's a wonderful coach and basically giving me the inspiration to go out and practice and do my best.
All right, so this is your opportunity to give some props here. You said he's an amazing coach.
Yeah.
What makes him an amazing coach?
So when we lost our seniors, he never changed the attitude. He was always dedicated to us specifically.
Okay, all right. And this year, you want to turn things around. When you look at the group of the guys that you're with, and you look at the rest of the MOAC, how much of a potential is that to turn it around?
I think we have great potential.
Okay.
We have great bowlers with great attitudes, and we have areas that if we improve, we could be something special.
So you're excited. I mean, we're
Yeah.
not that far away. And the competition's good. It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to, I mean, practices are all good and stuff, but when you're up against other teams, and it sounds as if
Yeah.
you have a lot of interaction. That's a lot of fun. Probably made some friends at other schools through that. Very good.
They got a
Thanks for
taste
coming
of
out. Good
steak.
luck
Of course,
tonight.
thank you.
You bet. And finally, Draven Morgan is here. Hi, Draven. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Junior as well. How many years bowling for you?
This is my third year.
Third year. Okay. And where have you gotten better from last year to this year, just in the early practices that you've seen?
I think I'm doing better on getting my spares.
Getting your spares. And that's such a point of emphasis because that's like, that's free scores, that's free points, right? Is there times, and I'm sure there are, where, things just aren't going well, maybe early in the match or the middle of the match, and you start to get a little frustrated? How do you draw yourself back in and say, man, Draven, you got to focus, dude. You got to get back at it and pick those spares up, or you got to get that initial ball to get a lot of pins down. Where do you find that inner drive to turn things around?
I tell myself that I can do it because if you start doubting yourself, then that is what's going to happen. If you believe you're going to fail, that's what is going to happen. You're going to fail.
Yeah, it's such a mental game, isn't it? You got to kind of talk yourself into it that things are going to be okay. When you're going through a game and a match and do you watch the other bowlers on the other team and say, well, this is what they're doing, maybe I could deploy that and do it as well?
Yes, I do that.
And probably talk with the other guys and say, help me up a little bit, pick me up, what can I do to get better, right?
Yes.
All right, very good. Well, good luck to you. Thanks so much for stopping out. I certainly appreciate it very much.
Thank you for having us.
So that is the Galion bowling team looking for big things this year for both of you on both your squads, and I'm going to hold you to that trip down to Columbus, and I think I'm going to be following you.
I'm holding them to it too.
You're
so-
holding them to it as well, and that's a good thing. Well, thanks so much for stopping out tonight. I certainly appreciate it, and it's a joy to see you guys in person again, rather than, even though, we had some in the station last year, it's great to be in this environment. I think good things are happening at Galion High School on the bowling side, lots of participation, which I think is outstanding. But most of all, I love hearing about how much fun that you all have and enjoy it, and that camaraderie. Even though you're competing, you are also having a lot of fun, and I think that's really great for interscholastic sports, really good thing. So guys and gals, thanks for stopping out tonight, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. We'll be back with the Colonel Crawford State cross-country team on the girls' side right after this timeout.